guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 9 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and the last one ended with a big bang. So Envy and Lust decided to take out the 5th laboratory to keep Ed from finding out any information about the Philosopher's Stone. Ed figured out that they were using the prisoners next door to use for a sacrifice to make the Philosopher's Stone, and they weren't using the best people, mass murderers, as a matter of fact. I don't know if that affects the Philosopher's Stone. Like, if you put all of, like, the blood of bad people and you're sacrificing bad people and putting in there, if it, like, somehow affects the stone that way. Not that you'd want to start sacrificing lovely people that are fine and grand so you have, like, a happy stone. I don't think sacrificing anybody's a great idea. But I just, like, wonder if the alchemy of the blood being in that the soul, the blood, I'm not quite sure, like, what goes into it to make it. Obviously, neither does Ed, but, like, they're mass murderers. And then their souls are attached to suits of armor, just like Alphonse. And, you know, we have the Slicer brothers, as a matter of fact, that are fighting Ed, and Al is fighting Barry the Chopper, and Barry is trying to convince Al that Al isn't real, and that he should, you know, stab himself in his own blood rune to prove whether or not he is real, and that his brother has made him up, and that he's not real, he was never a real boy. And there was something that Ed wanted to tell Al, and he didn't have the chance to tell him. Personally, I think it's kind of Ed admitting defeat, that, like, there's no good way to get them their bodies back, and that they might just have to accept that this is their fate. Because we also hear Ed later on in the episode telling the Slicer brothers, like, just because you don't have a body, that doesn't make me think you're not alive. That doesn't make me think you're not real. And it was the first time that they had been treated human since they were attached to the armor. So obviously he's not going to do that to Al. We know he's not going to do that to Al. We know Al is real, but Barry's making Al question, like, his existence because of this secret that, like, Ed just wanted to say. And it's not even much of a secret. It was just kind of like maybe him confessing feelings or something that was just on his conscience. It's not necessarily something that he feels guilty about, but maybe he just doesn't want to necessarily not give Al hope. Now, with Envy and Lust, they destroy the Slicer brothers. Well, Envy does. And Ed's arm stops working, so he can't transmute anymore. And, like, they literally could kill him, and they're like, no, you are an important sacrifice. And that makes Ed go, huh? It makes me go, oh, because that can't be good. And that's also the other thing that I was thinking, is that, like, is having Ed in a Philosopher's Stone, having his blood in that Philosopher's Stone, does it make it more powerful or different? And I don't know if it matters whose blood it is, and I feel like it does. So we ended with them, you know, getting Ed from Envy, Al questioning things, Ross and Brash. I really should write down their first names. I just remember their last names. Helping them get away. But then we also had this really cute conversation with Hughes, where he's, like, talking about his daughter Alicia and about his wife and just gushing to Roy. And then, you know, Roy's, like, getting, like, very aggravated. And then he says, oh, well, you know, tell me about your Ishvalan with the scar. And, you know, Scar is still out there. They haven't been able to locate him or find him. He's most likely not dead. I don't think he's dead. But is he injured? Did he run away? Like there were people that died in that explosion. So, you know, Roy very much has ambitions. And at the very end, like the end credit scene, you know, we have Hughes just being like, you should get yourself a wife. And, like, I think that's the last thing Roy wants. Roy wants to climb the ranks and be Führer. And it's funny that I have an issue with the title of Führer, because it's leader, but it makes me think of Hitler. It makes me think of Nazi Germany. And it makes me want to cry, because the Ishvalans then represent the Jews. And all genocide is wrong, but like that is the most, I don't want to say it's the most current because it's not the most current, but it is the most, it's the biggest lesson of genocide that I had ever learned about in school. And, you know, there are genocides that are happening that most of the time we don't even know about, because why worry about other countries or people that are in third world countries or anyway, I'm not going to make it political, but I definitely, I'm against genocide. So I'm kind of on Scar's side, not necessarily the way he's going about revenge, but that I know he's got that vengeance in his heart, and going against state alchemists that helped with the Ishvalan War, or that even state alchemists that are using their alchemy in a sinful way. You know, because I think about Tucker, and I don't know if he was involved in the war. It was only, you know, 2 years that he had his certification. I don't know when the Ishvalan War stopped necessarily. It could still be going on, and we're led to believe that it's not. I think personally it probably is still going on, especially in Scar's heart. But you know, like he had really nothing to do with that, but it's like this perversion of alchemy that it seemed to be what Scar was really against. And I think that's why he wanted to go and attack Ed, is because of the human transmutation aspect and the perversion of that alchemy. And then, of course, the state alchemists that were involved in the Ishvalan War, which I believe was just Roy and Armstrong. I thought Hawkeye was an alchemist, but she's not. She's just a sharpshooter. She almost got him. And I really dig her. But like a lot of the other state police officers are kind of just like, I don't really want to be in the middle of this. Like, can you guys handle this? Like y'all are too much. But I personally like absolutely adore Hughes, and I love how he's gushing about his family to Roy, and it just irritates Roy to all ends. But the fact that Roy is very much wanting to climb to Fur, and Bradley was also the leader, it seemed to be, in the Ishvalan War, and made the alchemists do things, like really bad things, that I worry about Roy as well, and the way he wants power. Anytime somebody craves power and wants to climb the rankings and be promoted, I always worry about what their motivations are, and I worry about Roy's motivations. Now, I really worry about Bradley, because of his involvement with the Ishvalan War, his involvement with the State Alchemists, how he's really involved with these boys, and like really wanting, like naming Ed the Fullmetal Alchemist. I don't know, it doesn't feel good to me. What else did we have? We had, at the very end, when the laboratory's going down, Kimberly, who's like, you know, like kept his hands like from being put together because it looks like he could do some powerful alchemy with the seals on his hands. The circles, the transmutation circles, not seals necessarily. Like he was like giddy, and it was reminding him of the Ishvalan extermination, I think he called it. And like he was remembering it fondly, and it put him in a good mood. And it's just, I worry about Kimberly. I worried about Kimberly from the first episode. He's been in the back of my mind, but we need to get Ed's arm fixed. We need that screw. I don't know if we get to go back to Winry and Graham, but I think because of Al doubting his soul actually being attached, or like his past and like his memories, and he's like, no, like they know me, and it's just like, oh, they're part of it too, you know, Chopper says. So, you know, maybe we can convince Al, or maybe Ed can tell Al what it was that he wanted to say and kind of clear everything up. And a little bit of Armstrong, please. I just, the thing I love the most about Armstrong is that it's kind of like on a dating app when you see a guy without his shirt on, you're just like, ugh, swipe. But like with him, he's very proud of himself, but he thinks it makes him like look, I don't know, more like that he can provide more safety that way. And then like with the tears, and like he's very just like, I don't know, like he thinks it's helping by like not wearing his shirt, and it does. I love that guy. I love that guy so much. But guys, let's get into this episode, because I'm nervous but excited, because Al is my baby and I want him happy, and he ain't gonna be happy if he keeps thinking he's not a real boy. Because he's a real boy, he just ain't got nobody. So, he's got somebody, but he ain't got nobody. Anyway, let's go. Oh. Just starting with the song. Okay. Normally we get an intro. That's kind of good though to start with a jam. I need like a bow thing to make that noise. A bow? I don't know what it is. A hammer? Ooh, don't listen to me when it comes to guitars. I know Jack. You know what? Every time I think I'm going to learn the words to this, I know I'm going to screw it up. So I'm not going to do that. Japanese is such a fast language. I'm just saying, it's like so fast. Created feelings? Oh no.
Looks like you can sit up now, huh?
Why the face?
What happened with the 5th laboratory?
Well, it,
Went
Somebody
boom.
blew up the building and there's nothing left of it now but rubble.
You mean they wiped out everything? Oh, that didn't feel good.
Oh.
This isn't fair. Do you know how close I was to finding out the truth?
Well, we were going to find out in the 8th episode, so...
We do apologize in advance for this!
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Oh!
You acted like a selfish child. You only escaped with your life because you were lucky.
Not wrong.
You don't have to do everything all on your own, you know. You can lean on other people.
Aww. You got friends!
Alphonse got his own lecture earlier, but I was the one who did the slapping.
Oh. He is a tough
I
one.
almost forgot. I have an even less pleasant lecture in store for me today.
Who? What?
Hmm?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A service call?
Yeah, my right arm's messed up again.
You forgot the
I can
screw
move the
girl.
fingers, but that's about it. I can't lift the arm at all.
It was you. Uh-huh. Don't get mad.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Huh?
Nothing, just talking to myself. So, what were you doing when the arm stopped working?
Transmuting.
I was in a really rough fight.
You did it again, moron! How could you treat my precious little man like that, alchemy freak?
Alchemy freak. Jeez, that's mean.
You're sure in a good mood today. I thought you were going to... You know what? Never mind. Forget it. Goodbye.
That was her in a good mood, screaming at him like that?
Was that your girlfriend?
My girlfriend! No way!
Oh, your blood! My God! Jeez.
Hey, Al.
Brother.
You know you can come to the room, right?
Oh, poor Al. Just talk to him.
You go on ahead.
Okay.
Why are you doubting your brother? He's done everything for you. Robot steps. Oh, please, not another little kid that I'm gonna get attached to some way, somehow.
Bye!
Don't turn into your dog.
Are you sure you're not a puppet created by your so-called brother?
Yeah, the little robot hitting him in the foot. Little kid. Wow. Great storytelling. Has she been to the city?
The west exit, there'd be someone familiar there who would recognize right away.
There he is!
Major Armstrong, it's Winry!
He's gonna give her a big ol' hug, start crying.
Did you have a pleasant trip?
Where are those stupid Elric brothers?
Well, you see...
Are you gonna start crying?
The hospital? What happened?
Well, dang it. I thought he was gonna start crying.
I won't charge you for this. I didn't do a good enough job on your automail last time.
Oh.
And now you're badly injured.
Oh.
It's not your fault. You can't blame yourself for this.
Yes, you can.
I broke it because I was being reckless. Your repairs were flawless as ever. This was all my fault.
Nope.
You didn't drink your milk.
Why should I? I hate it.
I don't like milk either.
Doesn't forever if you keep using that stupid excuse.
Milk doesn't make you tall.
To drink it if I don't wanna.
You sound like a spoiled little brat, Edward Elric!
Every grown boy needs his milk.
Yeah, you want the girls to like you, don't you?
Oh, poor Al. Al, please go talk to him.
I don't get it. Al's been acting really weird lately. Just seems like something's been bothering him.
And he's just in this dark hallway by himself.
Are you sure you're not a puppet created by your so-called brother?
Don't do it with the seal. I'm so afraid he's gonna be like, thunk, with a knife.
Yo, Ed, my boy! Is it true you brought a pretty
Yes.
blonde girl into your room to service you?
Whoa, maybe don't put it that way.
I see. You've seduced your mechanic, have you?
Ah, that isn't what I said at all. Were you even listening to me?
I would take it as a compliment. I mean,
Hold on just a second. How much trouble have you gotten yourself into this time?
Well, you see, it's... Well, it's nothing that concerns you.
well, it kinda does.
I have to go and see if I can find some place to stay tonight.
Come on. No need for that. Why don't you spend the night at my place? My wife and daughter will be delighted to have you.
They will.
No,
It's settled. Come on.
Hughes is just the cutest, absolute, most wonderful, sweetest. Well, dragging her away is not really the nice thing to do. But I do dig Hughes. I like Hughes. He's so sweet.
That's exciting. How old are you now, Alicia?
I'm 2. No, I'm 3.
I was gonna say, that's not right.
Fullmetal.
Hey! I was gonna say, he was talking to Roy and said, like, that she was turning 3, and then I was like, what? Oh, that's not right.
They keep their mouths shut, though. They don't ever tell me what's going on.
Maybe nothing needed to be said.
That's definitely not true.
It's possible they thought you'd understand without them saying anything. In general, men prefer to let their actions speak instead of words. When they're in pain, they
Sometimes.
don't want to burden anyone with it. They don't want anyone to worry about them. That's how they are.
Is Hughes okay?
Hey, you get away from her. Alicia wants to play with me, not you.
Aww.
She's quite the heartbreaker already, isn't she?
You should pick me. Come on, please.
Oh!
Listen up, boys. You try anything with my daughter, and you will answer to me.
Your actions speak too loudly!
Whoa! I was like, what's going on with Hughes? He's a little dark sometimes.
Well, would you look at that? The two of you could be sisters.
Aww.
Sissy, be safe, okay? And come back and visit me real soon.
It's settled. You're staying with us again tonight.
It looks like I found myself a little sister.
I wish I was like you, Al. You've got such a big body now.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, God.
Not like I asked for this body, brother!
Sorry. You're right. It's my fault that it happened. But I'll make it right. Believe me, Hal, I'll do it.
Believe you? How am I supposed to believe anything when I'm stuck in this body? Do you remember when you said there was something you were afraid to tell me? I think I might know what it was.
It's not what it was.
Maybe you wanted to say that my soul and my memories are really artificial constructions you created.
I'm sorry, Ed.
Is that what you really think? Have you believed that all this time? So are you finished? Or is there more you wanted to say?
Oh, poor Ed.
Al, you...
She's so violent.
Where did that come from?
Oh.
Winry?
You idiot! You have no idea how Ed feels! He wants to know if you blame him for what happened to your body, Al! All the two of you have left is each other. Now, go get your brother.
This is a
Start running. Right.
completely the wrong day for me to be watching this. Today just happens to be the anniversary of my sister's death, so this is what a day to watch this.
You know something, Al? We haven't had a good fight in a while. I'm starting to get flabby.
Flabby. That's how boys solve problems. Get your feelings out with actions.
I beat you! The first time I ever won.
It wasn't a fair fight, brother.
Don't give me that. A win is a win, and you know it, Al. Now that I think about it, we fought over some really stupid things, haven't we?
Definitely. Like who would get the top and bottom bunks? We even fought over which one of us would marry Winry someday.
What?
Oh.
I don't remember that one.
I won the fight, but she shot me down.
'Cause she loves it.
Maybe you don't have to hear something out loud, but it sure is helpful sometimes.
I guess it is.
Well, I'm glad it didn't take like episodes for Al and Ed to have that out, but that's
My brother, master, are gone, all gone.
he doesn't have his scar yet.
Oh my, where are my manners? I should have introduced myself. I'm a state alchemist sent here by the military. I've been sent to exterminate this sector.
Is he a state alchemist that's been sent there? That's how he got his scar.
Who are you? You, old man.
They're Ishvalan, right?
I am a man of Ishvala, just as you are.
Yeah,
son.
the red eyes.
There's nothing to worry about here.
We found you floating in the sewers. You were
Oof.
hurt bad.
Easy scar. Somehow I like him.
My right arm, did I lose it or is it still with me?
Yeah, it's still there, mister. It should be fine. Your tattoo.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
What was it? I missed it.
Yes. It's important to me. A precious gift from my family.
Oh, gotta blow my nose, guys. Sorry. Okay, I don't know if it was the right day or the wrong day to watch this. So I talk about it because things relate to it, but today happens to be the 21st anniversary of my sister's passing, and it still hurts. But you know, Winry having that moment with Alicia and like saying like little sister and all that, like that kind of got me. And then the brothers having a moment. The universe tends to hand me this shit. Let me tell you. I watched an episode of Doctor Who yesterday, and it's about if you could change something from the past to like stop somebody from dying, you know, would you, could you, should you? And my answer is always no. There's just like a lot of stuff that like went down in the past couple days where I was like, why is this happening? I absolutely love that Alphonse sees Winry as a sister, and definitely him and Ed kind of having out who got to marry Winry. And, you know, Ed vehemently denying that that's his girlfriend, even though that's pretty much what they are. And he doesn't like see it, but he sees it, but like he doesn't see it. Like he's kind of dumb to it a little bit. He's like, I have feelings for her, but like I don't know what they are. And her being kind of the key, the glue that helped the brothers come back together, you know. And granted, it took Hughes, and I absolutely love Hughes. Oh my gosh. Him and his family is just like a source of like a bright light. of like the happiness that can be had in this world. You know, his daughter turning 3 and how sweet and cute she was, and like the boys fighting over her. His response to that was so, I feel like, cheesy, like dad in the 80s, maybe early 90s movies where it was just like, have fun with my daughter. You know, like that kind of stuff. But it was like funny because you don't see Hughes like that until it's his daughter. He gets all like gushy over her, but then is very like protective, and I'm like, she's 3. Maybe we don't take it so serious. But I do love how Maze, his name's Maze Hughes, but how Hughes, you know, automatically just offers his home to Winry. That the wife wants her to stay around, that the daughter wants her to stay around, and that the boys, you know, it's nice to have her there. I think not that I think Granny needs to be taken care of. Granny definitely can be taken care of herself. She is a feisty little one. But, you know, her, like, kind of not openly admitting that she messed up on the arm. And then, you know, Ed taking the full blame for the arm not working because he was using it and maybe in a way that he shouldn't have been. And then her just being like, that's my out. And being able to be like, yeah, knucklehead. You know, I know it's a very anime thing, but the yelling and like the anger and all of that, sometimes like I'm just like, simmer down. Like, it's a bit much. But I have to accept that if I'm going to accept Armstrong crying at the drop of a hat. Now, one thing that I actually really liked was Brosh and Ross, you know, really giving it to Ed and just being like, how dare you? You should rely on people, but also being like, we're so sorry, but like, we're also so sorry. I think Ed needed to know that he could depend on other people. Granted, he still snuck out, and it still put him in a very dangerous situation, him and Al. Him and Al. You know, it was very easy for Al to be, I don't want to say be turned against his brother, but to have doubt sown. I don't think Chopper is really all that convincing. But it was for Al. And maybe Al, like, he doesn't have a body. He can't feel the rain. Like, he can't eat. He can't enjoy any of the stuff he used to. And, you know, so he's just like, am I real? Like, are these memories fake? And, you know, Winry really like telling him like everything that Ed was going through, you know, and that Ed was able to like say that to Granny and her while he was in a very vulnerable state. Very, very vulnerable. Couldn't look them in the eye, was in bits and pieces, and how Al would never forgive him, and it was his fault. And, you know, he can't eat food and he can't be like a normal person, and like that Al would hate him for it, and Al doesn't hate him for it. I think Al's grateful that he did what he did just so like maybe they can find a way to get the body back. I really thought that it was going to be like, I don't think that I can fix this. I love that that's not the case, because then that still means that Ed has hope. I don't like that because every opportunity that we have been presented in a way for them to get their bodies back is entirely gruesome, incredibly dark, and I think that there's a price to pay for it. So if they could find something else, that would be great. Now, Kimberly at the end there with Scar, before Scar had the scar, him saying that he was sent by the state alchemist to exterminate the Ishvalans. That's interesting because that could lead Scar to believe that the state alchemist did in fact send him. I think it was probably just Bradley. I don't think that the whole organization was like, extermination's what we need to do, but I do think that Kimberly was a particular weapon that was being utilized, and I think that's mostly from Bradley. I really don't trust Bradley. I really don't. I implicitly trust Armstrong and Hughes. Roy, I'm kind of like, but he's got Hawkeye, and I think Hawkeye might keep him on the straight and narrow just a little bit. But then, you know, there's of course Bradley that I'm like, yeah, and the fact that Scar was found by other Ishvalans, you know, I sense an uprising. Do I blame them? No. I don't. But I do think that I need more information about the reason for the attack other than just different beliefs, because to me that's not a reason to hate and exterminate at all. Not that there's ever really a good reason other than like, you know, if they were all doing blood sacrifices and like you know, like actual cult kind of stuff, then I'd be like, yeah, well, maybe we should, like, I don't know, do something about that. I don't know what. That's why I'm not a leader of these things. Yeah, really great episode. Very emotional for me for a completely different reason. And today of all days, still grateful for it because, you know, I love that it still affects me. I love that I still feel those things. And I love that, you know, it's not something that I can just kind of go, yeah, that happened in my life and walk past. It's something that's still very much visceral and I feel it. And I love that. I love feeling things. It's very cathartic when I get to do those things. So guys, if you want to watch the full length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to 2 episodes early. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Did you think that was the secret? I didn't think that was the secret. I really thought Ed was going to be like, I don't know how to do this and I don't think I can do it and I have no hope. But instead of it being like, I am so sorry and I feel like you have every reason to hate me, and that's just really just lovely. Really, really lovely. And I'm glad that they had their moment where they got to duke it out and fight like boys and share all of their memories of things that they fought about before. And, you know, even Winry could have that moment with Hughes where she's just like, you know, I know they don't have to say things out loud, but sometimes it really does help when they do. And, you know, Hughes had that moment as well. And I think Hughes might be also learning a lesson that, like, whatever he's harboring inside, like, maybe let it out. He seems to be very free with his emotions, like, you know, talking to Roy about stuff, but, like, maybe he doesn't talk about, like, his fears or anything. I'm not quite sure, but I absolutely adore Hughes as a character. And I was just like, when he's sitting there, like, talking to Winry and he's got his glasses on and I can see his eyes, he's got the stubble and he's just wearing, like, his regular shirt, I was like, am I attracted to this animated character? I think I am. More so than Armstrong. Armstrong, I just absolutely love his whole shtick, right? It's not like I'm just like, ooh, baby, mama likey. But like when it comes to Hughes, I'm just like, that's somebody that I'm drawn and attracted to because of his emotional availability and his openness and how kind he is. And he just has like all of the characteristics of somebody that you want to have in your life. And I hope everyone has someone like Hughes in their life because we all deserve to have someone like Hughes in our life. I'm going to watch another episode here, but you guys are going to have to wait. I don't know if this one's going to be, if it's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, or if it's going to be Thursday, Tuesday, but the next one will be up on Patreon if you are currently watching this on YouTube. So guys, head over to the Patreon to watch earlier episodes. But in the meantime, I'm going to blow my nose, fix my makeup, and watch another episode. All right. Bye.